What 80s teen drama was tops at the box office in 1984, just behind movies like Ghostbusters, Gremlins, and Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom? Up next on Cinema B-Side. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Filming Locations video. But before we get started, we gotta handle a little business.
Oh, hello, hi there. It's me, Todd. I'm in the studio, and today's sponsor is myself. The best way to support the channel is to subscribe to my Patreon, where not only do you become a member of the community, you get early access to the B-side videos as well as watch-throughs of movies or TV shows we are covering, and other movie reactions and commentaries from a filmmaker's perspective. And if that's out of your budget, no worries, just hit that like button. It really does help out the channel with the algorithm. And of course, subscribe to get the latest videos delivered directly to you. Hit that notification bell to be alerted of the newest uploads, and please share these videos with your friends and family. And now, back to our regularly scheduled program.
Now this movie has had quite the resurgence lately with the release of Cobra Kai. That's right, today we're doing the filming locations for The Karate Kid. Are you ready? Let's go!
Now, who agrees with me that The Karate Kid is one of the greatest sports movies ever made? Right up there with Rocky. And in fact, the theme that's playing during the karate tournament at the end, "You're the best around, you're the best around," was originally written for Rocky 3, but then they ended up going with the Eye of the Tiger to make it the theme song. So then the Karate Kid adopted it into their mythos. But I have to say, from a filmmaking perspective, that final scene, the final battle between Johnny and Daniel is just so well crafted between the editing and the camera work. It's just way, way too good. Between Kreese yelling, "Finish him!" Daniel's locked in with the crane kick. The whole thing is just amazingly put together. And I'll put it at the end, so watch to the end and you'll understand what I'm talking about. It's just really well done.
The movie begins in Reseda, California at the South Seas apartment complex. Daniel and his mother can be seen pulling up right in front and parking where the white car is parked right now. Daniel starts unpacking the car and gets his bike off the top and heads down this path towards the entrance. So the entrance has changed quite a bit since then, with much better security. But here's where Daniel kicks the gate open and right into his newfound friend's nose. Walking along the side of the pool, it starts to sink in that it isn't quite what he was promised. Wharp, wharp. They stop to talk to the little old lady, played by Frances Bay, who is also Mrs. Tremont from Twin Peaks, as well as Happy Gilmore's grandma. They then head up the stairs to his new home in apartment 20. After finding out the faucet wasn't working, he heads left, then right, then inside on the left, to find that maintenance man for the very first time. Daniel exits out this side gate towards the maintenance man, which would have been right here, but it looks like they had built some type of wall around here to house Mr. Miyagi's maintenance area.
Well, that wraps up the first part here at South Seas, and for the next location, we're taking the bike. And I'm sure you know why.
Just outside Malibu is Leo Carrillo State Beach, where the entire beach scene was filmed. Daniel and his newfound friends can be seen playing soccer across the main entrance to the beach. Trying to line up the rock formation in the background, this is about where Daniel meets Allie for the very first time. And of course tries to impress her with his soccer ball juggling. Running off with his friends, chasing the ball, he can be seen looking back right here at Allie. As night falls, the bonfire starts with Allie and her friends right about here. We're first introduced to Johnny and Cobra Kai as they head right around that lifeguard tower. From up here, they spot Daniel trying to teach Allie how to juggle the soccer ball. The gang comes down this path on their motorcycles headed towards the beach. The first, and certainly not the last, of the many confrontations between Daniel and Johnny begin right here.
Are you okay? Oh, just leave me alone.
This now defunct junior high school in Woodland Hills, California, is where they filmed all of the high school scenes in the movie.
Daniel rounds this corner on his bike and heads towards the first day of school.
Looking over, Daniel spots the entire Cobra Kai gang parked right next to the sidewalk.
With a defeated look on his face, Daniel realizes it is indeed going to be a cruel summer as he heads into school, and the camera pans to this plaque on the wall. A little bit older, but still here. Now, as I said before, the school doesn't operate as a school anymore, so some of the Valley softball teams have been using this for their practices and softball games. There was one going on earlier when I was here. But this is where the incident takes place during soccer tryouts, where Tommy trips Daniel and another fight ensues. On this spot you can see where Allie and the cheerleaders were practicing, and she shows Daniel her newly acquired soccer ball juggling skills. Trying to line up the houses in the background, it looks like Daniel would have been right around here bouncing the soccer ball on his knee.
This school sucks, man! I shut out of here! Sucks!
After Daniel gets thrown out of soccer practice, he heads this way towards the school. Allie, feeling for Daniel, stares towards him as he walks off into the sunset.
Here on Wilshire Boulevard in Cloverdale is where Daniel goes to meet his mother working at the Orient Express and sees the Cobra Kai Karate Dojo directly across the street.
And we can see the first location. Yes, that's right, I said the first location that is used for the Cobra Kai Dojo, which is now a wig shop. This building is where the Orient Express was. We can kind of line some of the windows up here. Daniel sitting in the window with his mom, talking about how beautiful Allie is. Now, the Orient Express has long been gone, but this has been a diner for quite a while, but the diner actually closed during COVID, so it's now fully empty once again.
Deep in the Agoura Hills is a little hidden park
where Daniel has his run-in with Cobra Kai on their motorcycles and him on his bike. So none of the houses were here when they were filming this portion of the movie. Cobra Kai forces Daniel down this hill and off his bike, and as you can see, it is super steep. The stuntman must have had a rough night. Hopefully they got it all in the least amount of takes as possible, because rolling down this hill must have been brutal. There's one more shot of the hill. I don't know if the camera picks up how steep this is, but I can barely walk on it. It's so steep. Mrs. LaRusso arrives home from work, parks her car when she sees Daniel. The dumpster should have been right about here, where Daniel throws his bike away after his run-in with Cobra Kai.
I hate this place! I hate it! I just want to go home! Why can't we just go back home? Why can't we just go home and forget?
Allie and her friend can be seen walking down this corridor. You can see that green door behind them. They pass this classroom where Daniel is studying. He spots Allie, gets up, does a quick BO check, and chases after them back down this corridor. Catching up with Allie as they turn this corner towards the entrance to the school. They talk about going to the arcade, Daniel's new scar on his forehead from his bike accident on his Miyagi Turbo, and spotting the Cobra Kai gang. Daniel gets cold feet, as you can see that water fountain right behind them. After a long day at school, Daniel returns home and sees his newfound friend has fixed up his bike.
Hey, did you fix my bike?
Inside the school gym is where the Halloween dance takes place. It's coming around. After finally paying back Johnny with the water hose, Daniel comes busting through these two doors and down this street, causing the multi-car crash. So this newer apartment complex, which is really nice looking, to be honest, is where the empty lot was, where Daniel runs across, escaping the school dance, trying to get home before Cobra Kai finally catches him as he hops the fence right about there. And Mr. Miyagi comes and rescues him from his attackers.
This now new age store in North Hollywood on Lankershim Boulevard, coincidentally across the street from the Television Academy, which of course we've been here many times recently. So click the card in the upper right for my many Television Academy event videos. It doubles as the second location of the Cobra Kai Dojo.
This is the best it looks like I'm gonna do in lining up the shot. But as you can see, Daniel and Mr. Miyagi exit right there where we can see the Cobra Kai logo as they come across the street to Mr. Miyagi's truck, which is parked on this side. 10 minutes away from South Seas is where Mr. Miyagi's house was. Now this neighborhood used to be an empty field where the house was built, and they leveled it and built all of these duplexes in its place. So this duplex is the backside of Mr. Miyagi's house where the pond was and Daniel was practicing for his karate. Around the other side on the next block is actually where the entrance to Mr. Miyagi's house is. This gray house is where it was, and you can see some of the things line up in the back of the houses here.
Wax on, wax off.
Wax on, wax off. Don't forget to breathe. Right, E.T.?
Back at school again, Daniel is getting books out of his locker. Allie approaches up behind him, taps him on the shoulder, and leans right here up against these lockers. And Allie is leaning right here against this one with no placard. This is where she was leaning, right there. Frustrated with Johnny's antics, she can be seen walking this way and that water fountain behind her, going to confront Cobra Kai. As Daniel's got this now, showing Allie that he has a truce between Johnny and the boys. Now right about here is where Allie stops to give Daniel her address so they can go on their date to golf and stuff. You can see this tree behind them. Then Daniel sees Johnny and tries to trick the teacher into giving them a lecture, which backfires on him. Daniel and the teacher walk towards that tree.
I'll explain the thing to you and you can pass the information on to your friends.
Now high up in the Encino hills is Allie's house. Daniel takes that long, treacherous, nervous walk up these stairs to meet Allie at the door. And right there's the brick that Daniel kicks while he's meeting her parents. To Daniel's further embarrassment, the station wagon breaks down as they get in the car. They push it down the street, as it happens all the time, right past that house and that gate. Golf and stuff in Norwalk, California is where Allie and Daniel go on their date. The station wagon would have been parked right about there. Very cool to see them representing the Karate Kid's filming locations here at Golf and Stuff. The water park part of the theme park has been gone for quite some time, replaced by electrical grid from the city. After being dropped off by Daniel's mom, they head in this way past the arcade, which is now renamed the Party Room. Party! Hitting up the bumper boats here.
Daniel and Allie race each other in the little Indy cars.
You can see this clock tower up behind their shoulders when they stop to grab a drink. They exit and they run into one of Allie's rich friends with his white Corvette. Mr. Miyagi brings Daniel back to the same beach, but just a little bit further down. So a little bit further down PCH, still at the same beach. This is where Daniel kicks the waves and learns balance. He spots Mr. Miyagi off in the distance doing the crane kick, but since then the posts have been removed. Right here is the parking lot where Mr. Miyagi's truck is parked, where they have the confrontation with the guys drinking beer, and he chops the tops of their bottles off. The Chatsworth Reservoir is where Mr. Miyagi takes Daniel fishing and teaches him balance on the bow of the boat. Due to the California drought, the lake where they were at is obviously a lot lower than when they were here, but it looks very, very familiar just staring at it right now. You can almost see Daniel right on the bow practicing his moves. This Hyatt Regency in Westlake Village doubles as the Encino Oaks Country Club. Daniel can be seen leaning up against this post, contemplating on what to do. He heads off this way as the camera pans over and reveals the Encino Oaks Country Club logo covering this Hyatt Regency one. Inside the ballroom is where Allie is dancing with her father and has her fight with Johnny. After Daniel receives his car from Mr. Miyagi, he drives right in front of the arcade, or the party room now. After Allie leaves the confrontation in the arcade, Daniel pops out of this second arcade, which is now closed, and runs down this way towards meeting her in this corner where the water slides used to be. So trying my best to line up the snack bar sign that's up back there, it looks like the car would have been parked right about here. After they reconcile, Daniel lets Allie drive his new birthday present, you know, 'cause it's the 80s, as they head down this way and out of the park. And finally, we arrive here at Cal State Northridge, where the All Valley Karate Tournament takes place. Right about here is where Mr. Miyagi and Allie sign up Daniel for the tournament, and they steal the guy's black belt out of his bag. Inside the arena with the familiar red, white, and black colors, there's a volleyball practice going on. But inside here, the tournament took place.
Finish him!
Alright, that's a wrap on our Karate Kid filming locations video. Tell me what you think. Write it in the comments. How did Daniel and Mr. Miyagi affect you growing up? How are Johnny and the Cobra Kai gang affecting you now? It's so great to have this resurgence, right? And of course, don't forget to like this video. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. And subscribe so you can get more of my filming locations videos, of my FYC events, and just general shenanigans all around LA. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. I am out of here.